TC Chairman Boss Slums dies in Umuahia. Enugu government awards over 1.1 billion naira contracts for urban rural projects. Medical experts harp on diseases associated with dry season. Team Nigeria crashes out of 2020 Olympics volleyball qualifiers. Good evening, welcome to MCL News. I'm Ruth O'Hams. Thanks for joining us. The federal government has approved the reconstitution of the new Board of Corporate Affairs Commission with Mr. Ademola Seriki named as the board chairman. The government also named Garuba Abubakar as the new Registrar General of the Commission with effect from 7th of January 2020 for an initial period of 4 years. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Ademi Adebayo, disclosed this while presenting the letter of appointment to the new Registrar General in his office in Abuja. The minister, according to a statement from the ministry, disclosed that the reconstitution of the board has put to rest the lingering leadership tussle facing the commission. He urged all directors and members of staff of the commission to give the new Registrar General their maximum support and cooperation to achieve the mandate of ease of doing business. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Ambassador Mariam Yawaji Katagum, in a statement urged the registrar to be fair and firm in the discharge of his duties. Responding, the new Registrar General expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for finding him worthy for the appointment. Garuba assured the President that he will be fair to all and transform the Commission to a world-class institution. And the federal government has directed the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC) to reposition the broadcast industry by implementing measures that will create jobs, promote local contents, boost the advert industry, and place the broadcast industry at par with the best practices from around the world. Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, who gave the directive on Thursday, said the order is in tune with the submission of the report of the committee, which is set up to work out the modalities for implementing the recommendations approved by President Muhammadu Buhari to reposition the broadcast industry. He charged the NBC to take the necessary measures to effect the implementation of the various provisions in the report. The minister said the directive will cover the provision for the regulation of the web and online TV radio, regulation of international broadcasters beaming signals into Nigeria, hate speech, human resource and staff welfare. It also includes funding for the reforms, implementation, monitoring, independence of the regulator, and ease of issuing licenses, as well as competition and monopoly issues. Some of the highlights in the directive include new regulations to compel broadcasters to utilize the content and services of Nigerian independent producers in fulfillment of the regulatory requirements for 70% local content, rather than the current abuse of the rules, which allows many loopholes for the production of such content outside Nigeria. By the new regulations, the producers of content are to pay for adverts and sponsored content placed on all TV, radio and broadcast platforms, and must ensure that the production of adverts are localized to create and promote local production. And the Transition Committee Chairman of Arochukwu Council area of Abia State, Engineer Nyekachi Okoro, has reportedly died as he slumped at his residence in Umuahia. Okoro was reported to have died on Thursday as he returned from work. Although information about his death was sketchy as at the time of filing this report, The late Okoro held a meeting in his office after he visited some political stakeholders in Arochukwu. One of his aides, who declined to have his name on print, told newsmen that he slumped at his residence and was rushed to the Federal Medical Center, Omahe, where doctors confirmed him bad. Okoro was appointed as the TC chairman of the council in December 2019. As the Commissioner for Information, John Okiyikalu, said the family of the late council boss was yet to get in touch with the state government, and the Commissioner insisted that the government would not confirm or make any statement on the development until it is formally notified by the family. However, the chairman, People's Democratic Party (PDP) Arochukwu Council Chapter, Mr. Anthony Nwankwo, confirmed the incident. And the Trade Union Congress has given state governments that are yet to implement the 30,000 naira new minimum wage up to January 31st to comply or risk industrial action from workers. The union gave the ultimatum in a communique issued at the end of its National Executive Council meeting in Lagos on Thursday. The communique was signed by the President, TUC Kadiri Olale, and the Secretary General, TUC Musa Lawal. On Monday, the organized labor said it would need to review the minimum wage negotiations between states and workers across Nigeria. Ekiti, Cross River, Benue, Gombe, Osun, Sokoto, Oyo, Niger, Ogun, Enugu, Bayelsa, Rivers, Kwara, Taraba, and Anambra states have reportedly not agreed on the consequential adjustments of salaries, while Lagos, Kaduna, Bauchi, Katsina, and Borno states had agreed to pay the new minimum wage. Other states started negotiations few days to the end of December 31st, 2019 deadline. Commenting further on the current status of the minimum wage, Olale said 6 days assigned to commence the implementation. It is close that 15 states are negotiating and will soon conclude negotiations. He noted that if the states fail to pay the minimum wage, they are disobeying a directive from President Muhammadu Buhari. Other issues addressed in the communique include insecurity, casual and contract staff in various sectors of the economy, and the need to review the existing labor law. And the Enugu State Executive Council yesterday awarded contracts for more infrastructural development in the urban and rural areas worth over 1.1 billion naira. This is in furtherance of the state government's renewed vigor in providing democracy dividends to the people of the state. It will be recalled that the state government in the last 2 months had awarded contracts for multiple development projects worth over 6.3 billion naira, which are ongoing. Addressing newsmen after the meeting of the State Executive Council yesterday, the Commissioner for Information, Nailugo Chidaro, disclosed that the Council directed the Head of Service and the State Civil Service Commission to immediately commence the processes for the recruitment of middle-level and senior-level cadre staff. He said that the aim is to bring in sharp and fresh hands to strengthen the state's public service, which is a driving force for the implementation of government policies. On the road projects awarded for construction and rehabilitation, I will further disclose that the Council granted approval for the construction of Phase 3 of Amokwe Road in Udi local government area, starting from Udi Station through Ibuzo Amokwe to Amokwe Station Road at the cost of over 383 million naira. The commissioners added that the council awarded contracts for the extension of St. Mary's Catholic Church, Ezuke Hafia, for Umurusi Major General Ezugu House, Umoka Junction Road in Ibwetiti local government area at the cost of over 153 million naira. He stated that approval was also granted for the construction and rehabilitation of Ojoto Crescent, Transekulu, Enugu at the cost of over 153 million naira. Other road projects that were approved for construction and reconstruction by the council include Brown and Brown Crescent, Independence Layout, Enugu, completion of internal roads at Diamond City Estate, GRA, Enugu, Ozidem, Roba B, Nimbo Road, Earth Road in Uzo, Owani local government area, totaling over 312 million naira. the dry seasons are faced with these changes in the atmosphere, medical experts have advised residents to protect themselves against the diseases associated with the season. In this report, MCL News spoke with medical experts on the diseases that are prevalent during the dry season. Ezinwafo completes the report.
Dry season is a season that comes after the rainy season. During the season, diseases like cold, fever, asthma, malaria are said to be very common. With the harmattan ushering in the dry season, individuals are expected to protect themselves against the harsh weather. Against the backdrop, medical practitioners highlight on the causes, signs and symptoms of diseases associated with the dry season and how to prevent the illness.
Cold and catarrh due to increase in dustiness. We also have redness in the eye, conjunctivitis, commonly called aphasia. And then we have a myriad of skin conditions. If you are having a cold and catarrh, you are bound to have some coughing, so there are signs. And then we also have sore throat, dryness of the throat. We have difficulty in passage of some foods at times due to sore throat. That's various in terms of microorganisms through your throat, causing bacterial and viral infections. Food items will well covered and well cooked, and then children should be given good water. There's a lot of settling of dust on water collections, or what we use is toilet water. So we want parents to take proper care of their children this time around, by being more protected.
When you look at dry season, you know that the things that are prominent there is dust. You find out that people suffer mostly unexpected infections because of dust. These are major associated with dry season. As you are moving now, you see breeze will carry dust and spin everywhere. So from there, we pick infections from the dust, especially they bring out the fish from the gutter and leave it on the road. When wind comes, it blows it, and the people will be collecting it. Then you, as an individual, don't allow yourself to, don't allow this dust. Try as much as possible. If you can wear, respiratory protector, you can wear it. Then your net, your window net, please try and clean it up from dust from time to time. Because if you don't, dust will accumulate on that net, and while you are sleeping, the breeze will just be bringing, you will just be collecting the dust.
Others who spoke off camera advised that effective and efficient precautionary measures should be put in place in order to avoid diseases that are common with dry season. Health, they say, is wealth. Avoid the negligence portrayed with the human body. Always visit a doctor when there is a change in your body. The use of mosquito nets, protective wears should be promoted during the dry season. Ezinwafo, MCL News.
Following the confirmation of the outbreak of Lassa fever in a local community in Abia State by the state's Ministry of Health, a medical expert has sensitized the public on the need to be on alert on how to protect themselves from the disease. The report.
Lassa fever was first discovered in 1969 from a case in the town of Lassa in Borno State. It is a zoonotic acute viral illness transmitted by rodents. Lassa hemorrhagic illness is spread by multi-mammoth rat. Speaking to MCL News, a medical practitioner, Dr. Ugochukwu Oko, spoke on the symptoms which include fever, headaches, bleeding, among others. He also said the disease can be transmitted from rodents to humans and through contact with infected persons.
Lassa fever is a zoonotic disease, which means you can get it from eating an animal, the animal known as Mastomys natalensis, belongs to the group of mouse known as multi-mammoth mouse, a kind of a rat. If this rat urinates on a garret or on any food or anything, either urinates or drop its own physics on those garret or food or anything you eat, that person will be infected.
On the prevention of the disease, Dr. Gochuku had this to say.
You don't need to eat rat again. No matter how delicious or how big the rat might be, please don't see rat meat as delicious. If you have anybody that's having chronic disease or being diagnosed of Lassa, just run away from the person, because if the body fluids touches on you, that person is infected. You don't allow refuge, all these refuse dumps, to be near your house. And that's why we're saying that government should try as much they could to make sure that they remove all the refuse that are near to the house or any place people are living, because from there they can breed so many rodents. There's treatment. It was first discovered in 1979 by a man known as Professor Joe, I think Mark. This man discovered a drug known as rabaverine. This rabaverine, you can give it as tablets, you can give it as injections, which if Lassa fever is diagnosed early and discovered early, and these drugs are given, you have a good prognosis.
According to the respondent, early prognosis and diagnosis is key in the treatment of patients with Lassa fever. He called on the government of Abia State to create a Lassa fever control office, which will see to the quick response and treatment of patients with Lassa fever. He also called on governmental and non-governmental organizations to organize orientation programs for the masses, workshops and training for medical personnel, as this will go a long way to eradicate the fever from the state. He also reiterated the importance of personal hygiene as the most efficient preventive measure against the disease. Ruth Ohams.
And still to come on MCL News, power generation hits 4,898.2 megawatts. Kaduna police confirm abduction of 4 seminaries. Team Nigeria crashes out the 2020 Olympics volleyball qualifiers. Details of these and more after the break. Please stay with us.
The lab results. Yes. Okay. Where is this man? She has malaria. Yes. What do you think she did this for? You describe Casimir tablet. Casimir tablet? Yes, Casimir tablet. Casimir tablet get at letter and leave a fontaine for inside. Casimir tablet. Now Maxim Laboratories Private Limited for India. They make them, but like Grace-Based Pharmacy and Store Limited. And then they distribute Casimir tablet for here. Casimir tablet get NAFDAC approval for take fight malaria, promote your family.
Casimir tablet, not correct anti-malaria.
Casimir tablets, it will stop every malaria.
In a resurrection.
Celebration of life, glorious transition of a liver extraordinaire. The Ngoroji family of Umatolo Awovo village, Enugu in Anambra State, cordially invites you to the glorious homegoing of Elder Sir Gabriel Chinyere Ngoroji, KSA Wireless Text Commercial Company Limited, aged 88. Funeral arrangements 13 December 2019, service of songs in the United States of America, time 8:30 p.m. Venue, the Unique Event Center, 801W Victoria Street, Suite G, Carson, CA 90220. 15 January 2020, commendation service, time 11 a.m., venue St. Michael's Anglican Cathedral, Aba, Abia State. 16 January 2020, night of tribute, time 4:30 p.m., venue his country home, Ugoji Close, Omatulu Awovo Village, Enugu, Anambra State. 17 January 2020, Lion State at his country home, time 7 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Commendation service, time 10 a.m. at St. Monica's Anglican Church, Omatulu Awovo, Enugu, Anambra State. 18 January 2020, condolence visit continues with his in-laws, family, colleagues, among others. 19 January 2020, after service at St. Monica's Anglican Church, Omatulu Awovo, Enugu, Anambra State. For inquiry or more information, call OK Nkwaje on 080-3595-7850 or 090-840-70730. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. Signed, OK Nkwaje.
Mommy, mosquito biting me.
When I ask you to use Top Rank insecticide. Top Rank insecticide kills mosquitoes, cockroach, flies, and every other crawling and flying insects faster anywhere around you. NAFDAC approves Top Rank insecticide for its effectiveness. Use Top Rank insecticide and enjoy a peaceful night rest. Available in all shops and supermarkets near you in 600ml can and 300ml can. Top Rank insecticide is marketed nationwide by C Success Multi Services Limited. Telephone 0813-111-2348 or 090-960-22577. Top Rank insecticide. What's worth doing is worth doing well.
Welcome back, and get still on to MC, and thanks for staying with us. And the total quantum of electricity generated of national grid since the beginning of 2020 reached a peak of 4,892.2 megawatts on Wednesday, and latest industry data obtained on Thursday in Abuja showed. Findings from the Federal Ministry of Power showed that the grid had opened the year 2020 with a peak power generation of 4,678.8 megawatts, while the lowest quantum of energy generated on the same day was put at 3,399.3 megawatts. This came as the transmission company of Nigeria energized a new 100 MVA 13233 kV power transformer installed in Oba Transmission Substation, Lagos State. Further analysis of the 8-day power generation report since 2020 began showed that the lowest quantum of electricity generated during the period was 2,461.1 megawatts. This figure was recorded on 3rd of January, while the peak power generation on the same day was 4,406.8 megawatts. Our correspondents, however, observed that on 8th of January, when the grid recorded the highest peak of 4,898.2 megawatts, it also witnessed a low generation figure of 3,345.8 megawatts. On the new 100 MVW 13233 kV transformer in Lagos, the TCN stated that the facility was installed on 7th of January 2020. The company's General Manager Public Affairs, Ndidimba, stated that prior to the installation of a 100 MVA transformer, the Oba substation had a total of 2 units of 60 MVA 13233 kV transformers and 1 unit of 45 MVA 13233 kV mobile power transformer. The federal government has disclosed that over 96,090, about 70% out of 137 and 16, less than 30% of university lecturers have already enrolled in the integrated payroll and personnel information system, urging ASU to encourage the remaining 40,926 members to comply with the process. This is even as Academic Staff Union of Universities has described IPPIS as destructive intrusion, adding IPPIS violates the laws of the Federation, violates university statutes, and violates agreement between the federal government and ASU. This was disclosed at a meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja. In her remarks at the meeting, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, said that having opened in the office of the Accountant General of the Federation for registration of university staff, assuring that peculiarities of the tertiary institutions will be accommodated. The Minister pointed out that many anomalies were discovered in the university structures that had contributed to the increased cost burden. These anomalies, according to the Minister, include staff working and earning pay in more than one university, contract staff and payroll of government, tax reduction on pay, and multiple employment. Ahmed said some universities would rush to recruit more staff before the IPPIS registration commenced, which was then detected. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, urged ASU to comply with IPPIS and national interests, as his office was already in the process of streamlining all issues of human resources in government. Kaduna State Police Command has confirmed the abduction of 4 students of Good Shepherd Major Seminary School, Kakao, by flyover along Kaduna-Abuja Highway. The command said on receipt of information, it immediately mobilized combined teams of anti-kidnapping, SARS, Operation Yaki, PMF personnel, and conventional police to the scene with a view to foiling the kidnapping and rescuing of the victims and arresting the perpetrators of the unfortunate incident. Adding that the Inspector General Police Intelligence Response Team attached to Operation Perth Ada had been contacted for technical support. According to the statement, the prompt response of the police at the scene helped immensely in minimizing the number of victims as the hoodlums took to their heels when the sensed police presence, bearing in mind that the bandits had accessed the school dormitory where 268 students were being accommodated. They said that the Commissioner of Police, Omar Musa Muri, had led a delegation of officers for on-the-spot assessment visit of the scene to assess the level of security arrangement with a view to fortifying the structure and to sympathize with the management of the school on the ugly incident. The statement explained that the management had applauded the timely response of the command, which according to Reverend Father Francis Abbas said the situation seriously. The command said it was doing everything possible to secure the release of all the victims unhurt. And the Commissioner of Police, Omar Muri, equally appealed to the good people of the state to come closer to the police in their respective communities in order to create harmonious working relationship between the police and their immediate communities. And now talking sports. Nigeria women's national volleyball team has crashed out of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games qualifiers in Cameroon after losing 0-3 to Kenya in a riveting match that tested both sides well. Nigeria has details of the story.
Team Nigeria lost all the 3 sets of their last match to their counterparts Kenya in Yaoundé, Cameroon. They lost 15-25 in the first set, 21-25 in the second, and 12-25 in the last set. The Kenya team is now qualified to represent Africa in the 2020 Olympics game. They won all their games in the competition in Cameroon to show their supremacy in the sport in the continent. Team Nigeria only won 1 game out of 4 matches in the Olympic qualifiers. A total of 5 countries participated in the 2020 Tokyo Women's Volleyball Qualification Tournament. The countries are Nigeria, Egypt, Botswana, Kenya and the host Cameroon. Acting President of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, Olamide George, has secured some relay centers for Nigerian athletes in Florida and Texas in the United States. This is part of efforts to get qualification tickets for the Tokyo Olympics. George, who just returned from the United States, where he held discussions with some top Nigerian athletes, said the AFN will try to avoid mistakes of the past. None of Nigerian relay teams has met the standard for the Olympics, but according to the AFN box, everything is being done to secure the tickets. In the Nigerian Professional Football League fixtures for this weekend, Dakada FC will fight out against Rivers United. In Okiwe, Heartland will play host to Abia Warriors. Ifeanyiba FC will battle Warri Wolves. Jigawa Golden Boys will go head-to-head with Adamawa United. Kwara United will face Katsina United. Lady Stars will lock horns with Nottingham Ministries FC. Plateau United will entertain Akwa United, while Wiki Tories will tackle Sunshine Stars. In England, Sheffield United will tonight engage West Ham United. The kick-off time is 9 p.m. On Saturday, Crystal Palace will face Arsenal. At Stamford Bridge, it will be Chelsea against Burnley. Everton will entertain Brighton. Leicester City will at King Power Stadium lock horns with Southampton. Manchester United will entertain Norwich. Wolves will play host to Newcastle United, while it will be a clash of the Titans at White Hart Lane as Tottenham Hotspur sizes up Liverpool. On Sunday, Bournemouth will engage Watford, while Aston Villa will play host to Manchester City. In tennis, world number 1 Rafael Nadal suffered a stunning upset at the ATP Cup on Friday, crashing in 2 tough sets to Belgium's David Goffin. The Spaniard was heavily favored to win the match and secure Spain a berth in the semi-finals after Roberto Bautista Agut eased past Kima Kopejan 6-1, 6-4 in the first singles match. Then the 19-time Grand Slam winner slumped 6-4, 7-6 to the 11th ranked Belgium, a rare defeat for Nadal while playing for his country. Jonah Oji, MCL News.
The size of our news package for this evening, but before we go, a recap of our main stories. The Transition Committee Chairman of Arochukwu Council area of Abia State, Emekachi Okoro, has reportedly died as he slammed at his residence in Omaha. The Enugu State Executive Council yesterday awarded contracts for more infrastructural developments in the urban and rural areas worth over 1.1 billion naira. As the dry seasons have faded with each changes in the atmosphere, medical experts have advised residents to protect themselves against the diseases associated with the season. And in the weather sports, we brought you a report that Nigeria women's national volleyball team has crashed out of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games qualifiers in Cameroon after losing 0-3 to Kenya in a riveting match that tested both sides well. And that was news. Thanks for sharing your time with us. Do join us at 11 p.m. for our news update. Just stay tuned for Akokowa. On behalf of the production crew, from me, it's good night.